How are you guys doing today? Appreciate you guys watching my video. Today's video is going to be about CLS with 3PO and Old Ben. No R2 today, and I have thoughts about it and I have feelings about it. Yeah, I kind of like this team a little bit more than the R2 comp. And this is the exact same team that Warrior showed off a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was like around a month or so ago. And this team, I just like it because of many reasons with Old Ben. I mean, Old Ben has his mind tricks with removing TM and the ability blocks and all that sort of stuff. And on top of that, he can, whenever he does sacrifice himself and die, he gives out all the crazy boosts. And let's just get into it. So I have two of my own, which are not versus maxed teams. Everybody is 7-star with Gear 13 and Relics, but they're not Relic 7. So I want to show a couple of mine. And then I'll show you a couple of Blade Baka. So again, shout out to Blade Baka. Appreciate you a lot, man. And just kind of get like a different kind of feel for it. And the different kind of scenarios that you might see yourself in while you're using this team. And we'll go into some of my own relics and my own mods as well. Very similar to what I was showing you guys in my last video. Okay, so you always want to shoot first onto the General Skywalker, just so you get some of the damage going there. And since everyone's getting hit, Old Ben gets a bunch of TM because whenever a Jedi or Rebel takes damage, he gets 3% TM. With the Zeta, however, you get 2% extra, so you get 5% TM whenever somebody, rather a Jedi or Rebel takes damage. So I think that Zeta, I don't have it in any of my own tests, but I think that Zeta is like the best one, and it's probably a must-have in most scenarios, just to make sure that you get reliable and consistent wins. I've had those same consistent and reliable wins so far, but it just seems to be that it works the best once you have that Zeta, most likely, in my opinion. Okay, so we just chatted throughout all that stuff right there. Yeah, it goes by really fast. Usually like 1 minute long battles, so there's not a whole lot to chat about. You pretty much get him into cover, you just melt through 5s, and then you kill Rex, and then you go after whoever else you want after. Echo is probably the next target, and then Ahsoka last. And that's just how these ones go. And these are really quick, like I said, so now this next one will go more in depth about what I like to do here in my attack strategy and in my orders. So I recently got Gear 13 Old Ben just yesterday, but I've done this and I've had very good success with Gear 12. You only really need him here for his mind tricks. Once he gets mind tricks off, he can die, and that's okay. And just like I'm seeing, what you guys are seeing right here, you got a mind trick off, and one little thing you probably want to watch out for as you mod your guys fast. Whenever a 3PO does have his special ready to go, do not use it before he gets into cover. You want to use it after he gets into cover, just so you don't waste all that mass assist on somebody like a potential 5s or Echo or Rex. So right there, that's why we use the basic, just so we save it. And then with how I modded my team, Chewie will be going right afterwards. So he's going to do his AoE, giving everybody more HP protection for the guarded allies. And now you just melt through 5s like we were talking about. The exposes with Han and Chewie's hits, they will melt through any gas, or not any gas, any 5s. Now, we're able to do his taunt. I do not have that taunt in Zeta, by the way. It's not a very good one in my opinion, even for his counter in my opinion. It's just not necessary. So now that he's dead, we have the taunts up, and he's going to get targeted pretty hardcore. So okay, it's just so stupid easy. I mean, ever since they fixed the bug with General Skywalker not having all those crazy bonuses when all of his allies are dead, I mean, really any counter that you guys saw before the bug is even better now. So I might, if you guys are interested, let me know down below in the comments. Would you guys like to see a Padme team and an updated kind of guide there on how it does versus this new version of, well, not really new version, but the new fix, I guess, of the bug versus General Skywalker's. But yeah, this is pretty easy, guys. He just pretty much dies right there. Even if he didn't die, you guys are going to be totally fine. But we need him to taunt. If we can, get him to taunt. If not, that's totally cool. But if you can, get him to taunt, just so Chewie doesn't get any of the big hits on him. But I mean, it gets to a point when everybody's dead here, it doesn't even matter if like Chewie and Old Ben are dead. Your two guys there, Han and Chewie, will be able to just explode onto General Skywalker. It's pretty easy to counter. And yeah, now let's go over to Blade Baka's attempts. Okay, so you guys saw that those other ones I showed earlier were with Ahsoka. Well, now we're gonna actually show you guys this with ARC Trooper. Everybody here is Relic 7. Everybody's here relic 7, and this is what it's going to look like. So I'm almost certain and guaranteeing you guys that his guys are at least relic 7 on Han Chewie, and then I would say relic 5 CLS, and then low relics on his old Ben and 3PO. I might have to double check there. But here we go. Same kind of strategy here, same kind of kill order. You got to get him into the cover phase. And you know what? I don't really think ARC Trooper defensively does much. Maybe he does versus Padme. I gotta still test it out, but I just can't see it happening. So yet again, here we got Mind Tricks off, and I think a nice way to go about modding old Ben is for a little bit more potency. Once you get him Gear 13, if you guys do choose to go that route, it's not a required thing, but if you do, throw on some more potency. It really does help out. He can give out potency, as you can see from 3PO being here. So now we're trying to kill 5s. There he goes. 5s is dead. This is relic 7-5, so it's a little bit tankier. We get Taunt off, and now we're going to go over to, I think, yep, Rex. Gonna kill Rex. We got to get him out of here just so he doesn't cleanse anybody. And once he's dead, I don't know, let's see what he does here. So he goes after ARC Trooper, interesting, okay. And now, probably go after Rex. Maybe Echo. Okay, Echo. I guess makes sense because he's already stunned and all that stuff. So now he's in. So this isn't going perfectly like mine were because this is a little bit tougher relics. And there he dies. He dies right there, guys. And now you're trying to get him back through cover. And like I said, that little death sacrifice, if this were to be the case with old Ben, or with rather GS not being able to die with all of his, or rather his allies are dead, and then he comes back for a second time for the cover, that death with sacrifice is going to come in clutch, even more so than it did in my battles. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I think you pretty much just in these ones, you just melt through GS, and then you go for, in my case, and in Baka's case, you go for 5s if you can. Go for Rex early, but if you already have and you got some good RNG with landing those ability blocks and TMR, like he did right there, maybe don't worry about Rex as much. Worry about like ARC Trooper, because ARC Trooper can dispel still, and you might want to kill him a little bit faster. So that's what he did in here, and just to kind of speed up a little bit more, just so we kind of see what's going on, what he does here. And yeah, I think this is going to work still the same, you know, even if you don't have crazy of mods like me or Baka do, because we both do have Relic 7 on CLS, or not CLS, on Han and Chewie. Everybody else, in my case, is not Relic 7. But yeah, I just like this team a little bit more than R2, guys. For a little bit of reasons here, but really the main reason is because of Mind Tricks and the sacrifice. I think the sacrifice and Mind Tricks, in my opinion, outweighs the number crunch Zeta and stealth and the burning that R2 gives. And on top of that, if you guys want to, it might not be a huge deal for most of you guys, but if you want to and you want to use this team, well, you can save R2 for a different team. So that's really the bigger things I see from here. So now we can see this. Let's go into some of the guys and the mods we were fighting today and our mods. Alright, so I don't want to bore you with like the extremely in-depth stuff, but I think the most important one is for sure the General Skywalker. So this is the guy I was fighting. His name is Bad Bilo. He has 100,000 protection on his GS. He hits pretty dang hard, almost 8,000. And he does not have ARC Trooper in here, but he does have Ahsoka. So take that, I guess, with a grain of salt if you guys want to put that towards your weighing of options if you want to use this still. And this is Relic 5-5. Just see how tanky he is. He is quite tanky. And yeah, I think that's about it really here. I don't really care too much about the other guys because their damage is kind of non-existent here when they don't get as many turns as 5s does or General Skywalker. So now, my team. My team here is right here. So, like I said, I ran this a lot without Gear 13 on Old Ben. The only thing I would rather you guys Gear 13 for is there is a small chance that everybody, or rather, when 5 does get his extra turn with all the hits on GS, you do want him to be Gear 13 for the only, and it's a very, very simple reason, just so he's tankier, so he doesn't die early on. Mine's at 60,000 HP and 70,000 protection. Mine beforehand was around 50k HP and 50k protection, so around 100k. And 100k was still, they were still killing Old Ben if that did happen to go wrong for me and have bad RNG. So even if you do happen to get targeted, I would really recommend, and I would say it's almost required to have Gear 13 Old Ben here. I get people don't like this guy a whole lot, or maybe you guys totally just left him by the seaside or the wayside, you know, just didn't like him too much. But guys, I think with Old Ben and the light side TB and CLS in general, I think this guy is totally worth it. And not to mention, we might be getting a whole lot of extra old original trilogy content next year. This guy is so underrated. I mean, people just don't think he's good. But this thing right here with the extra TM gain, his mind tricks, his taunt, I mean, there's so much to love about this guy that this guy is super, super important. So Old Ben, I think, in my opinion, I think he's a little bit better than R2. I know there's people out there that like R2 more, but this is my opinion. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion here in this game, and counters, if they work for you, then that's great. For me, I personally prefer Old Ben over anybody else. So now on to everybody else's mods. This is my CLS. He has 311 speed. He's got 50k HP, 44k protection, just to make sure that he still gets guard. And with everybody in this team, everybody here is going to be tanky. The only two people you got to worry about that don't get guard is your Old Ben and your 3PO. And guess what? Those two people are some of the tankiest guys I know. And especially if you get Gear 13 on Old Ben, you can really bump up CLS's protection HP pool. So I even might go and toss on, you know, maybe some protection here. Maybe don't go for potency and instead go for more protection, you know, stuff like that. So CLS, very fast. You need to be fast, high speed, so he does get his turn fast and get more DPS onto GS. So next up on the list is Chewbacca. You do want to mod him for a lot of tenacity, just for the off chance that you might get dazed. You want to prevent that from even happening. So these mods, I would say, on my Chewie are quite close to being optimized, or if not, they are optimized. I have a really crazy arrow here. It's 21 speed with an offense on a tenacity. How lucky am I there? I don't even freaking know. And then this is another lucky one I got. Not as many speed, but a lot more offense here with crit damage. Keep in mind that you cannot crit if Chewie is attacking at a turn. He can crit on his AoE or on his specials or his turn. During his turn, he cannot crit out of turn. So he can do big, huge damage, especially at Relic 7 versus these GS teams. You do want to rock a Tenacity Cross. This has some good speed and offense. And then protection here, you could probably go for HP if you wanted to. I just like protection a little bit more. And then try to get some high speeds on Tenacity. You want a full Tenacity set on everything. Try to get some good speeds, and if you can, pull out some HP, protection, offense percent, and even base offense if you guys want. And then another one here, 15 speed, nothing crazy, but it does have some decent Tenacity, and it's got an offense primary. So that's Chewie. Pretty simple, guys, and he doesn't even be very, very fast at all. If you were to go fast on anybody, it would be your 3PO, your CLS, and this guy right here, Raid Han. So Raid Han, he has 272 speed, he's got maxed out crit damage, he's got over 100% crit chance, and he's got close to 8,000 damage. So this guy, you do want him to be fast because you want to make sure that he gets his special off, his big huge gun special, that can potentially one-shot somebody, but you want that to have him go first and fast so that he can get that off and get translation so that he can be called into assist later on from 3PO. So what I did here, I went for CD. HP here, not so much CC because he gains a lot from his unique and from him being Relic 7, of course, so I like health here a lot. Health is probably the best thing here besides the crit damage for a set. So I went for some extra offense percent here, some crit damage here, some potency, nothing crazy, but some extra HP, nothing crazy. 15 speed, like I said, you want to be somewhat fast, and some extra HP here, more HP on that, and there we go. So fast Han, hitting hard. That's, I think, pretty simple, right? So that's Han, and keep in mind those two, Chewie and Han, are Relic 7, CLS is Relic 4, Old Ben's Relic 1, and 3PO is not even Gear 13 yet. And I don't even plan or intend on him getting Gear 13 unless I might need him Gear 13 for the new light side TV. So for 3PO, he is 271 base speed plus a 20 speed he gets from where is it? Protocol Droid, yeah. Protocol Droid gives him 20 extra speed, so he's really at 291 speed. So he's going to have 42, almost 43,000 HP, 80k almost protection, and then he has some potency. If I were to remod this guy, I would probably go for a potency set, but this is the best that I could come up with right now. But he does get more potency from some of his uniques here on Cyborg Relations. More potency here whenever he's going to gain translation. So I mean, he's going to probably get a lot more potency as the battle continues. So I'm really just worried about making sure that CLS still gets guard here, and making sure that he's not squishy whatsoever, just so that if they do happen to target 3PO, he does not die straight off the bat. So that's pretty much it, guys. And I'm not going to bore you guys with showing Blade Baka's. His mods, I would say, are quite close to mine. He does have Year 13 3PO, however. And yeah, I just want to say that this team, I think, is the whole entire Rebels and CLS team with Raid Han and Chewie, even 3PO for that matter. That this whole entire team, guys, this counter will last a long time. It might last until the entire game, you know, goes throughout the next 5-year cycle, because that's what they intend to do. They say they have a 5-year plan. I think this team could be lasting that long because it's just that good. There's so much DPS, there's so much TM gains, and it's very important. And I just like this team a whole lot. Like I said a little bit ago, guys, if you guys do want to see my Padme team versus some of these GSs in my arena, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. But that's it for today. Old Ben with some of the Rebels taking out a GS team, and we showed you guys those mods on the enemy team and their stats. It looked pretty good, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it around, and if you are new here, feel free to sub. It'd be muchly appreciated, guys. And if you want to help support me, there is a Patreon, and also we have new channel memberships. We also do have a Discord if you guys want to go check out that, if you need more in-depth help or if you want to just chat. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later.